One thing Claudia didn't remind us is baseball is back and the Reds are undefeated.
I didn't know that, that's why.
It's my privilege to introduce Interact today. First of all, I'd like to introduce all the advisors from the schools. So if we stand up, and some of these people I just met for the first time in person because the last 2 years, we've had Zoom meetings. So from Kaufman, we've got Stephanie Humphrey and Lisa Snipes. From Jerome, we've got a new advisor, Diane Kruger. Davis, we've got Jan, who's new, and who's Susan Jacoby is a retired teacher, and she still comes back and helps volunteer and advise our Davis Middle School. And she was so looking forward to this morning because she says, I get to go up.
Can you guys hear us in the room? We've lost sound.
I think it's because he muted the laptop.
Yeah, I think so too. We just need him to look at it.
He's looking at the laptop.
Let's say, is there anyone we can text to say, take that off?
I can send a text to Wolf, but it depends on if he looks at his phone. He might be aware of it.
I would send a text and see if he at least,
Yeah, I'm trying. Okay, I sent him his text. Wolf, can you hear us? Or Ron? Somebody? Guess not.
yeah, I think they've got us totally silenced.
Well, I guess we can just watch the slideshow. I'm supposed to be there taking pictures, but not up to par today.
Sorry to hear that, Roberta. Feel better.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm sure I will.
This time of year, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Can't decide if it's 30 or 60 or 70 or 20 in that order.
Feel better, Roberta.
Oh, thank you. Who is that?
It's Cindy.
Oh, hi, Cindy.
Hi.
You don't sound very good either, Cindy.
That's what I was
No.
gonna say.
No, it's like someone just said, it's the weather and
Can they
Yeah.
hear, can you
then
text
this-
with them?
Oh, we can hear you now.
Officers, so that makes us feel a little less organized, I
Hearing.
guess.
Yay, we have sound.
We do.
So, I guess we're the
Thank
basis of
you.
the group, so you're welcome. You guys
Thank
don't look
you,
that
John,
old, I
for
promise
looking
you.
at my phone.
She's also our resident artist and comedian, so, I'll get started. I'm Susan Jacoby, and, we're able to find our presentation. Hey, Ron Davis. Ron, everything's good. First of all, Jane's new to our program this year. I'll stick with her probably for another year, Cap, if that's okay. Okay, and then maybe
Go home now, it's business.
hand it off to somebody else. One of the things about Davis is we've had at least 15 kids every meeting. We meet once a month and have done some really cool things, some really new things, and some repeats.
Well, that was my alarm to go to school, so I guess I'm late.
I don't know.
Might move your presentation.
I have no idea.
Trying to pull it up, so we're on yours, but I don't
No, I don't think.
Okay, let's
Can
go
you
on.
just tell us what you
Yeah,
do?
I'll just tell you what we did. I'm gonna come over with you guys so we can kind of tag team. Okay, I got to do this from memory since we don't have it on PowerPoint.
So,
Soul Hope. Okay, Soul Hope. That is something that we have done in the past. Ladies, would you like to talk about what it is?
So Soul Hope is this project that was started in Uganda. And so basically, we send shoe kits to Uganda made out of denim jeans. So anything that you're probably wearing right now could be turned into a shoe. And so they're basically used to create shoes for like unfortunate kids that live in Uganda so that they can so it can help their feet from being safe from
Jiggers.
Jiggers.
Yeah, jiggers. Yes.
really nasty bugs, you would not want that on your foot.
And I know, Claudia, we've talked about this, that you guys would like to do this at some point in time, so maybe we can coordinate to do a project, okay, in-house. And that's something that we partnered with SciOTA, so they'll talk about it as well. Thank you, Rotary, for giving us the money. Because one of our biggest stumbling blocks is fundraising. And it costs $14 per shoe kit. And so we were able to send 15 shoe kits because you posted, you paid for it. Thank you. Appreciate it. We also did a new project this year called Davis Dash, and it was for St. Jude. As the combine is coming up in the draft, watch for, is it Rich Eisner, I think, who does a project where he runs the 40-yard dash and people sponsor him and all the money goes to St. Jude. And so we did something similar with Davis Dash. Do you want to talk about that? Do you want to do that?
So this was my favorite project by far, especially because I made like the best poster ever
She
for
did.
it. So
And if you had the PowerPoint, you'd see it.
you would see it. And so basically it was sort of like a fundraiser, just as in this oath, just what we said. And so kids would buy feet, which was very interesting. We would cut out feet and we would sell them for $3, and all that money would go to St. Jude. And so we raised up to $384.
$480.
$400.
No, $380, something like that.
Yeah, and all that money was sent to St. Jude. And so basically, for buying a foot, you would get to go outside and run
40-yard dash.
the 40-yard dash.
And we had a great video of our athletic director who rode his gator instead of running with his seat to gator. Other projects that we'll get, we don't want to take too much time. We did, if any of you remember at the beginning of the school year this year, the TikTok challenges that were awful, vandalize school bathrooms, slap a teacher, all those, yeah, I know. So right off the bat, our kids said, we need to do something for our custodians because they are overworked with things that have been going on in buildings. So we made kits for our cooks and our custodians. We did Linus blankets. Susan West isn't here, is she, or is she?
No,
Okay, she brought to us the project of My Very Own Blanket, which we also did. We did positive notes to teachers, positive signs in the hallways. What am I forgetting? I think that's
We made the
about it.
timelines.
Yeah, the Linus blankets, the notes of the My Very Own Blanket. The kids were amazed at the My Very Own Blanket. You know, it gives a blanket to a child that is in the foster system. But if any of you participated with that, the little sign that's sewn on it is made by a man in prison. And I don't know if you knew that. The kids were like, what? And it was like somebody who did wrong was trying to help others. So anyway, we are very, very blessed to have 15 to 20 kids that are really, really active. And our last meeting is next month, and we're having a support. But you guys deserve it. Thanks. Sorry.
I'm practicing.
Sorry, Jan.
So we know this is not gonna be a long presentation because Stephanie's gonna leave at 8:30 to go teach French.
It's on. Yeah. No.
While they're doing that, you want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, let's do that.
Please.
Hello, my name is Smita Raju, and I'm I'm also president in my name is Charlotte. My name is Kelly Teddy, and I'm one of our leadership chairs. Hi, my name is Lisa, and I'm also one of the membership chairs.
So all of you seniors? Yeah. So have you recruited a group of sophomores and juniors to replace you next year?
There are a couple that I would think would be
Good. And just as a reminder, April, you have to do officer election.
Well, we don't use
for next one.
We don't use PowerPoint.
Well, that may be as best presented. They're saying, just present it. Okay. Because they can see it here and we can see it.
Here. But how do you?
So we wanted to start by thanking the Dublin Rotary Club and our advisors, our new advisors, for providing us the resources to organize and conduct these service projects. First project we did was in September, and we wrote letters for homeless shelters all across Chicago. And this was partnered with the organization Big Sunday, which does a service project every week that helps one of their nonprofit partners. And then we also started working on the Peace Bowl that Rotary gave us, which we plan on finishing up soon. And now Geeta will talk about the dog biscuits meeting. We had our dog biscuits meeting on December 2nd, I believe, and we made dog biscuits for canine companions. And we made them out of peanut butter, wheat flour, and water. And I think it was a really good success because we made around, I think, $300 to $350. Everything like in the game was like super interactive because like we were all like small groups, like package them together at the end. So how we can talk about the yeah, so in honor of Valentine's Day and just spreading the love in February, we decided to make handmade cards for the administrative staff at Kaufman. These staff often don't receive the gratitude they deserve. We really wanted to show them that. We made 40 to 60 handmade personalized cards, and we gave these to all the bus drivers, the janitorial staff, the cafeteria staff, and other administrative support positions. And the whole idea was just to put a smile on their faces, and we definitely accomplished that. So next, Shari is going to talk about our most recent meeting. In March, we made motion blankets for Make My Way and children in foster care system by providing them these blankets that they can carry wherever they go. This meeting was with our Kaufman and Stress, and we were able to make 15 blankets as a group. So thank you to Rui for providing these kids and making this possible. So for future plans in late April or early May 2019, which is an organization that helps communities in Africa by providing them shoes, clothes, and supplies for children. So we plan on making shoes for these kids, and we also plan to work with the Chamber of Commerce for the computer cleanup.
And last but not least, we have Scioto High School. He's got a thunder. Good.
All right, so I guess we start with introductions. My name is Grant Smilik, and I'm one of the co-presidents with Clegg here at Saturday's Interactive.
My name is Will Smilik. My name is Said Sanalla. I'm an officer for Interactive.
So the two of us are juniors. And
I'm a senior.
Senior.
So
We're we have a lot of our like leadership and Interact Club is upperclassmen, so we're working kind of diversifying that and hopefully working to get more freshmen and sophomores in there, so that way clear leadership people to be after we go to college and stuff. So in terms of the projects that we've done this year, the first one that we did was Military Appreciation Night. So every year, September, we've already started planning for this upcoming September's game because we want to make it a really big deal because we know, as we all know, the veterans in our community definitely deserve to be recognized. So what we did this past year, this is kind of like the first time that we've done this, was every September there's this one game where our football players will put on special jerseys to honor veterans, and Coach Whit over there works with them to get this done. And they put on these special camo jerseys, wear them to school and stuff to honor people in our community who have served in the military. And so on that same game, we as Interact Club members got flags to represent each rank of the military. We stood out front of the game and we welcomed veterans who showed up to that game in, talked with them. We did other things throughout the game just to honor them and do stuff like that. That was our first project in September. And then October, we do a annual service project with Dublin Food Pantry. We partner with the theater and student senate at Scioto, and we all create these different routes across the neighborhoods within Scioto's bounds. And each group of kids is assigned one. Instead of going out and getting candy, we go out and we collect canned food items. And it's a really cool experience. It's super fun. You know, you go out, and unless it's raining. If it's raining, it's not super fun. But I mean, it's enjoyable, and everyone from the community, everyone from Scioto, like most of the upperclassmen do it. You know, sophomores that do it, freshmen that do it. We even had a couple people from other buildings this year come over and join us. So it really kind of is a full community thing where everyone gets together to help out.
Can I add that they raised over 5,000 pounds of food?
Wow.
For veterans, goodie bags. So usually there's a day at Scioto where it's dedicated for veterans, and students will have posters. Usually it's a sophomore project. So AB Studies, which is taught by Mr. Witt, and the other U.S. history classes would have posters for veterans. But for the goodie bags, what we did as a Interact Club is we made goodie bags with like little treats and cards that we made. We put it in the bag and we serve it to them during that day with the posters. So it was like a little collab that we did.
And so our next project was assisting the Byron Sanders Foundation, which is another project that we've done for a couple of years now. So we down in, I think it's southeastern Ohio, which I think is actually part of this Rotary district. We've helped a couple of years now assist food pantries, and I believe it's Athens, Ohio, and then that region in general for the around Thanksgiving time, because we know there's a lot of need there. And so what we've done for years now is raise a bunch of food in collaboration with, I believe, AB Studies, which is what Mr. Whit leads there. So we've helped 300 families this year. We continue to try and make it impact. And I just wanted to say, I'm pretty certain that someone from Davis said they had a really beautiful poster, but this one was designed by one of our officers, and it's really nice.
Good to see you.
Yes, lots of improvement.
Actually, the picture here. So for Dublin Historical Society, for the open house, it was at the Coffin Park area. It was like the building right next to the basketball court. And what we did was we went to set it up first. It was all like Christmas themed because it was December 2nd. So we set the decorations. And then my part was I was in this little like cabin. It was supposed to be like a classroom. So much different than what it was today. But we had like a hot chocolate setup, and it was like in a bag, like with marshmallows and everything. And the family would already bought the hot chocolate. We just handed it to them with the cup, and it was like a big bag, so they would have to spread it out within like 4 cups or so. And there's also like candy cane and all of that. And yeah, we just talked to the guests. Really, that's what that was.
So our next project was the assisting the 30 Goal Foundation, which is we collect toiletries, blankets, socks, clothes, a whole bunch of stuff for homeless and low-income veterans in the community. We would also put encouraging and uplifting messages on these brown paper bags, which we would include these goodies in, because we know that in addition to the goodies, an uplifting message can go a long way in helping veterans. So that, again, another project that we've done for a while now, and kind of working with the whole team of helping veterans in our community. So that was, again, kind of the November, December time.
Wow.
So we took a little hiatus over winter break, and then we got back into our projects in February to create Valentine's cards for old people in nursing homes. And we said that that was probably one of their favorite moments all year, was probably getting those cards. So, I mean, you got to see all the creative messages that kids wrote in there, and some of them had to be thrown away because they were very interesting. But yeah, all the ones that we said were made with extreme love and care. So it's a really cool project to be able to help out people in your immediate community. We also have people that work in those nursing homes where we deliver the cards, so it's just cool to see the immediate impacts of our project. So the next project that we did was the library and blanket project, which has been touched on earlier by a couple of the schools. So, and working with AP Studies as well, we had a couple of meetings where we pieced together, and I think that we made over 70 blankets to give to the foster care system. So we helped to make an impact there. It was definitely a fun project because it was more hands-on. Okay, so this is our Soul Hope project. Like Davis talked about earlier, this is an annual project that we started partnering with Davis, I think 2 years ago on, and you guys were kind enough to provide the funding for that, and we were really able to kind of take off with that. We are currently finishing up our last couple of shoe kits. We're making 15 in total, and it's just this, like, we have different service projects that focus on different areas. So like we talked about the one in Southeastern Ohio, so that's like a more local community service project. But we also have service projects for the nation, and we have service projects for internationally focused ones, because we understand and Interact understands that it's not just need that's solely focused on one area. There's people in need all across the globe. And I think this was a really good example of that, helping people in completely different lifestyles than we have, thinking about something that we don't have to worry about, which is foot issues and animals and stuff like that. Like we would never think of that, but there's so many kids that do, and that's why we help them out. And then one of the last projects that we've been working on here with one of our other officers who can be here today. His parents work at OSU Medical Center, I think. And so he reached out to one of the other people that works there and asked if there was anything that they needed done. And so I think that I think Wayne can touch on this a little more in a second, but they reached out and said, hey, we need if you could do any fundraisers or anything to get this a little bit of funding, because we're sending, I think those people receive the packages overseas to help with communities in different countries throughout Asia and parts of that who are in need. So we did or it's in Africa, like Ghana and Ivory Coast and different countries like that. So we raised nearly $200 to be able to assist with that. So what I was told is that this was an organization that focused on sickle cell anemia in obviously lower income countries and trying to help combat that. So we did a Genes Week at the high school, which was led by this officer who basically was like, okay, well, if the teachers want to wear jeans, they can, but they have to pay us money. And the administration, agreed to that. So we were able to raise $200, which is really cool. And I think that's not even a project that we were like super involved in. It was just one or two of our officers working on that. So I thought it was pretty cool, really successful. Yeah. All right. This is our thank you slide to 3 special people in particular, but also all of you guys for all your help. So that's Ms. Trustee, Mr. Clegg, and Mr. McHale, who have all been super instrumental in helping us throughout these past couple of years, especially this one with funding and just support and all that stuff. So thank you guys. Thank you.
I think Will said, I think I get the twins confused. Try not to first or last one. But I think Will said best that the lives they've touched, both locally through the food pantry, through the food drives, the lives they've touched in southeastern Ohio, the lives that all of you touched around the world. And just think about that we're here in Dublin, yet we're touching lives in Africa, Asia, and just you're having fun doing it. So we just appreciate your efforts. We just appreciate you being here this morning. And we're going to give it one last round of applause to thank you. We'll want to do this next year. We'll have a video of Mr. Witt running the 20-yard dash.
40.
Oh, he's doing 40?
You're using the term run.
So we got that coming up. So, and Mike did not leave me with a quote for the day. But we're just going to say, have a great weekend, and interactors, have a safe weekend, and have great to see you there. We really want to thank the advisors too for coming up this morning and for all you do all during the year. Think about they've done all this through pandemic. I mean, literally all we've done is Zoom meetings. They've had hands-on meetings, as you can tell, but just Zoom meetings. So it's great to meet you, and thanks for all you do, and we have a great year next year. Thanks.
I said, I get it. Okay.